Alright, I have done this one before, so you can see that I've got my starting waypoint marker out there already. So the course play on this is pretty simple. Turn that off and I'll show you what the course looks like. So I did all headlands on this field for forage harvesting um, because the chaser trailer, what you're going to be tossing the forage into, likes to stick to one side. I like to try to do all headers when I can. Of course, the last part, it's got an up and down, but that's what the course layout was. Just course width, and let's turn that off. Okay, so if I start this, I'll have to go ahead and clear this little corner here first. Not something necessary, but line it up. Alright, if I tell it to start, it's not going to go anywhere. Whoops. Because drive course, first waypoint. Because it's waiting for a trailer to toss the forage into. Alright. So until I have a trailer following this that it can shoot the forage into, it's not going to go anywhere. Alright. I'm going to stop for right now. So what I need here is to lay out a course for the trailer. The forage harvester course, pretty straightforward. You need a starting point. See, it's all ready. If I had it on drive course right now, it would start doing that. But I need to lay out a course first. So what you need to do is, the first one's grain transport. This is combi, empty combine and offload. So we want to select that. Alright, and then we want to record a course. Always close that so I can see better where I'm going. Alright, when you start off any kind of course like this, it's best to try to get 1 or 2 points straight on. And then you can turn. So I'm going to take the forage and put it in this fermenter right here. All you got to do is just drive over the loading point. And then make a loop. And you don't need to connect it, you just got to get close to it. Now, if I hit drive course right there, it would go all the way back to the fermenter. If I back it up and tell it to start the course at the current waypoint, it's going to start with these waypoint right here. Oh, drive course. Well, I was too close to the first waypoint. Alright, so while that's doing that, let me get back over to my forage harvester. This is the New Holland FR780. what I need to do is tell it to drive the course. Now my chaser trailer normally would be over here at the starting point, but as usual, I messed up a little bit. I mean, it's not like it had a long way to go, but if you had a long course out there, you definitely want to not have it drive the entire course, unless you wanted to test it out. It never hurts to test out the course. Okay, and speaking of that, there was one other thing that this needs. You need to tell it which combine. Alright, so right there, you tell it to which combine you want. I've got a John Deere up there on field 3, FR780. Alright, as soon as you tell it that, it's going to start chasing the forage harvester. Alright, now it's going to follow this around on the headland or the first pass. It's going to be right behind it. One of the settings in the course here is to avoid fruit, in other words, the grain. So it won't drive to the inside of it because it would be driving over the grain. You could turn that off if you wanted to, but for forage harvesting, I find it best just to leave it on. Alright, and other settings you might look at is the speed of the course. You can do recording speed, maximum speed. You can adjust these as you need them. You notice there that the tractor backs up when the forage harvester backs up. Very handy, depending on your field layout. Alright, so you just need to make sure, and on this trailer I had to drop this front panel here. I dropped the side panels too in case I need them. Is there any other setting? I don't think there's any other settings in here you need to be concerned about on this. Alright. Clear that off. And he will follow this around until he gets a full load or nearly a full load. And then he's going to go back and find his starting waypoint. Get to that, and then he's going to drive over to the fermenter, drop all that forage off, come back to the stop point, and then he'll figure out how to get to the harvester again. Go ahead and leave it on for that part. 50% full now. Alright, you can see my truck is 92% full, so he's going to hit that full mark here pretty soon, and then you're going to see him stop and try to figure out how to get back to his offloading course. 100%. He's going to sit there. If you see and he sits there for a while, that just means it's the AI is figuring out how to get back to his course. This part, it'll be different every time he fills up at 100% because you got to figure out how to get back to his course to take him back to the silo. Now, that part, if you do have crop damage turned on, you want to turn on that setting that says on turn on field, turn off the turn on field, I guess. I don't have crop damage turned on, so it allows the AI to be a little bit faster and figure out how to get back to where he needs to be. And you'll see him wiggle around a little bit because he's trying to avoid the crop and stay on the edge of the field because he uses the field as a boundary to where he's driving around. Alright, so he's trying to get back to that first waypoint. As soon as he sees that, he'll get on course. So AI figured out how to get him to there. Now he's just going to run the course that you set up. Now if you needed to, run more than one trailer wagon. For instance, maybe you have a long course to take the forage back somewhere, and your forage harvester's just sitting there waiting for him to drive that course and come back. You could add a second trailer to offload. All you would have to do is just save this course, and then on your second tractor or truck, whatever you're using, just have it run the same course. CoursePlay is a pretty amazing mod. So the tractor there, he offloaded at the fermenter, drove all the way back to the stop point on his course, and then AI figures out how to get back to the combine. And then it's just repeat. So, as I said, as long as he's on the headland part of the course here, the tractor is going to stay snugged up behind him on the forage harvesting. The forage harvesting a little bit different from the combine setup. But I think it is so nice how this works that he stops to do this turn on the corner, and the chaser trailer will back up and give him room to do it. So as you can see, once the forage harvester moves inside that first headland, now the tractor is going to try to drive alongside it on part of the field that's already been harvested. So he's going to hit 100% again. This time pretty easy for him to figure out where his offloading course is. He's right there beside it. Depends on how far away it is, how long the AI takes to figure it out. I've seen them sit there for a couple of minutes before to figure out how to get to their offloading course. just to show what course it's following. And there you go. It's CoursePlay with a forage harvester and a combine offload.